What is up, Commentary Nation? Welcome back to another video. Based on that infomercial video, you guys really seem to like that early 2000s content. I think it's my second most viewed video now, so seriously, thank you for that. Today, I'm talking about video games I played from the same era. See, the PlayStation 2, ladies and gentlemen, was the age of the licensed game. We're talking any movie or TV show that you can think of, they probably had a video game on this thing. Like, seriously, think VeggieTales, Star Wars, even Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace. Anyway, I'm sure everyone already knows about the massively popular Star Wars games, you know, Lego Star Wars and the Battlefront series, as well as the glorious SpongeBob games like Battle for Bikini Bottom. So I'm going to be talking about 5 other absolute bangers from my childhood that I played and that I owned, and I hope you enjoy. So, let's get into it.
Rugrats Royal Ransom is a game released in 2002. Yes, it was developed by Avalanche Software and published by THQ. If you were playing PS2 games at the time, then you're definitely familiar with THQ, as they published tons of games for the PS2, including Battle for Bikini Bottom and Fisherman's Bass Club. But Rugrats Royal Ransom was an action-adventure game, of course, based on the 1991 Nickelodeon children's cartoon, The Rugrats. So, due to neglect from the parents taking care of Tommy Pickles and the Rugrat crew, you end up trapped within a giant expanding tower of adventures called the Play Palace 3000. If you're familiar with the Rugrats series, then it should be no surprise that that bitch Angelica steals all of the gang's toys and flees to the top of the tower, forcing our war heroes to fight their way up to get them back. You can play as either Tommy, Chucky, Phil, Lil, or Kimmy to traverse the various styles of levels, including a lot of platforming, some puzzles, and this sick racing game that I feel was pretty ahead of its time for a cash grab licensed game. I remember getting so mad at that damn snowman whenever he'd bump into me, but at 6 years old, I might have even thrown my controllers at the basement floor over it. Anyway, it looks super low poly PS2, but for the time, I feel like the character animations were pretty good. Like, look at the love put into animating the characters in the opening cutscene. It's super charming. But anyway, the kids do what kids do and collect batteries and money to unlock things in-game, like new levels or characters. Something that surprised me when looking back at this game was that there were only 9 levels. Maybe it's because I played this when I was barely older than the Rugrats themselves, but it felt way longer than that, and I remember spending a lot more time in it than like the, 12 hours it took this dude on YouTube I watched to beat it. So this definitely isn't a game that I'd recommend anyone with modern hardware like pick up and play today or emulate, but if you have a PS2 and a game collection, I think this is a must-have. It's definitely worth putting on the shelf and having as part of your PS2 collection. God bless you, Rugrats Royal Ransom.
You're worth, honestly, about all 6 stars you got on IMDb. The Simpsons Hit and Run was an absolute banger PS2 game released in 2003. The geniuses behind this masterpiece were the development studio Radical Entertainment and the publisher Vivendi Universal Games. This game was essentially Grand Theft Auto, but set in the Simpsons universe. The story centers around a brand new flavor of Buzz Cola, endorsed by Krusty the Clown, with a brand new ingredient he says is too hot for the FDA. This is paired with a new strange robotic wasp surveillance system and a mysterious black vans popping up to create a grand conspiracy that plagues the Simpsons town of Springfield. Later in the story, you find out that the cola flavor is sourced from aliens, of all places, more specifically a meteor in the museum that drips a liquid capable of reanimating a giant skeletal T-Rex that you fight with as Bart and Apu. The story, or the gameplay, involves adventuring around Springfield and completing quests in a very similar fashion to how GTA works. There's a main quest line you're following with various side things that you can do in between. You collect money destroy wasps, collect gags, and various other things to progress the game and unlock new cars and outfits. I think the thing that sticks with me the most about Simpsons Hit and Run is just how much detail was put into the town of Springfield. Like, everywhere you go in the world map feels alive. You got voice lines from original voice actors out of every character you see, including reactions to your terrible driving or abusive behavior. You can climb on pretty much anything, and with so many collectibles, the developers really gave you an actual reason to explore the whole open world, which I feel like some games nowadays lack. This game is a spiritual successor to the 2001 title Simpsons Road Rage, which I also played as a kid and is also fantastic, and it makes references throughout. If I remember correctly, there's a voice line where Bart says, "Time for some road rage, Bart Simpson style." And 5-year-old me thought it was insane to hear one game reference another. It was just something my stupid little brain didn't comprehend yet. I would honestly recommend playing this game today if you have emulators or real hardware. It's absolutely a time capsule piece for this generation of gaming, and it is absolutely worth adding to any collection that you may have. And it's worth way more than the 8.3 out of 10 that the so-called critics gave it on IMDb. Fuck that. Flushed Away is a 2006 action-adventure platformer developed by Vicious Cycles Software, a fucking sick name for a development studio, by the way, and published by D3 Publishers. This game is based on the 2006 5-separate award-winning animated movie Flushed Away, and follows the main characters from that film, the rats Roddy St. James from London and Rita Malone from the sewers, after being flushed down the toilet by that scheming rat named Sid, ending up in a new world appropriately titled Retropolis. The goal of the game is to team up with Rita and eventually get Robbie the fuck out of there, because he does not think he was built for these streets. You play as Roddy and Rita, and the gameplay is a lot of platforming, as was classic for games on the PS2. The platforming is broken up by little mini-games that primarily included boat chases and turret-style shooting games. You also get to free roam around Retropolis and interact with the various random weird rats that inhabit it. What's interesting about this game is that the plot of the game actually differed greatly from what was in the movie. Like with the Rugrats levels, those were based on actual episodes of the show, and nothing is really unbelievable in The Simpsons because it's still going to this day and has covered almost every topic you can think of. But this game was basically a completely original plot compared to the movie. Like, the game and the movie start the same, they get flushed down the toilet, but the adventure that Roddy and Rita go on is pretty much completely original, and it showcases its own versions of the Retropolis districts and sewer networks. This was a game that I had rented from Family Video without having seen the movie, which heavily inspired me to beg my parents to rent the DVD on our next trip to Family Video. Now, I haven't touched this game once since that 1 3-day period in 2006 when they rented it for me, so I don't know whether to recommend playing it or not, but the armchairs at IMDb give it a fat 4.6 out of 10, so take that as you will. Also, on the IMDb page for this game, it lists Lil Baby as top cast. Was he in this? What? Shrek 2. What can I possibly say? This might be the first platinum banger on this whole list. Holy shit. Who didn't play this game when it came out? Shrek 2 was, of course, the video game based on the second installment of the cultural phenomenon that is Shrek. This game was developed by Luxoflux and published by Activision. Boo, you guys ruined Call of Duty. Boo. Back in 2004. This game picks up after Shrek and Fiona's wedding, where Fiona's parents are absolutely disgusted that Fiona chose to be an ogre and marry our goat, Shrek. The fairy godmother serves as the big bad and schemes against our heroes throughout the game, creating platforming, minigames, and side missions that closely follow the events of the movie. There's, of course, original side stuff for the game, like missions and dialogue, which contributed to turning a 90-minute movie into like
15 hours of gameplay, 10 hours of gameplay. You can actually play as a ton of characters in this game, including Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, Gingy, Lil Red, Puss in Boots, Big Bad Wolf, Tinkerbell, Human Shrek, Horse Donkey, and technically Dragon for like one level, which is honestly a lot, especially for a PS2 game. The game itself spans 11 chapters, with each with their own achievements, so I remember watching people on YouTube 100% this back in the day. For some reason, the most concrete memory I have of the actual gameplay is the singing level with Fiona. It's basically a slimmed down version of Guitar Hero, where at the end you have to spam A and brutally annihilate the group of birds that was singing with you. I don't know why, but when I think of this game, I just think of that level. That's what I visualize. The fact that this has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb, it demolishes any amount of credibility that IMDb's video game ratings contributors have. Maybe stick to movies, because fuck that rating. That's ridiculous. We gotta end this video off with some absolute heat, and that comes in the form of Over the Hedge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Over the Hedge is a game released in 2006, developed by Edge of Reality, and like Shrek 2, was published by Activision pre-microtransaction hell. Much like Flushed Away and Shrek 2, it's based on the animated movie of the same name. Now, fun fact about the movie, Over the Hedge grossed $339 million worldwide on a budget of $80 million, which is just insane, because today, Obsession grossed the same amount with less than $1 million budget. I just feel like I had to point that out. But this game actually has an original plot and serves as a sequel to its movie, taking place 1 year after the shenanigans that RJ, Hammy, and Vern got up to during the events of the film. The gang basically decides that their log doesn't have enough stuff in it, and they need to go get more things, all while avoiding the Verminator. The gameplay consists of, who could have guessed, platforming and minigames, allowing you to play as RJ, Vern, Hammy, and Stella. The game has lots of weapons and henchman enemies that you fight, with the ultimate goal of completing the 10 main levels and defeating the Verminator. Now, I played the shit out of this game as a kid when nothing mattered, and probably watched the movie close to 15 times. I fucking loved Over the Hedge. Something about the story and characters that play was hypnotizing, and even to this day, it's hard to find anybody who talks shit about Over the Hedge, except for the damn IMDb reviewers who give yet another shit rating to a beloved game. 6.7. What do you guys want? Like, who are you? But if you're someone who's interested in replaying PS2 era games, this is an absolute must-play in my opinion. Put this on your shelf, put this on your console. I highly recommend this one. It is a ton of fun. And there you have it, folks. More 2000s content. That was a list of the probably my 5 favorite licensed games on the PS2 that aren't like Star Wars or, SpongeBob based. I got plenty more of these. I could talk about more licensed games. I could talk about unlicensed games like, I know ATV2 and Spyro are some fucking amazing games on the PS2. So if you want to see that, comment that. If you got a game you want me to talk about that maybe I haven't played, comment that. If you want me to do a 24-hour Bass Pro Fishing live stream on the PS2, comment that. But ultimately, if you like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, and I am out.